Hello, this is the Financial Survival Center with a brief video about how to make important decisions, financial, personal, and survival decisions. The reason I decided to make this video was that I found that most people struggle seriously with these decisions. I get called by friends and family, and professionally, that's more or less how I make my living, is advising others on how to make decisions. And while I find these decisions are often relatively easy, I see that most people stumble a great deal with them. It causes them a lot of stress, and that's why I made this video, because I think it can help others in all areas, not just financial, but certainly in personal and in survival decisions, which can be anything from career to real estate to whether to move someplace, health decisions, etc. So let's get started. The overview is basically we want to learn a quick system for making decisions that take us closer to our goals. Hidden in that statement is we've got to have goals. Now, you can find lots of videos about goal writing statements and that kind of thing, but in your own mind at least have an idea of where you want to go. And if the more clear that is, the easier it is to make decisions. Now, everybody would say, well, of course I want money, I want to be rich. How badly do you want to be rich? How much are you willing to risk? How much money do you have to risk? What is rich to you? So you really want to get as definite as possible. That again, of course, is a bit of a decision, but wing it at first. You can always change it. Fast, positive decision-making is a major competitive advantage in all areas of life. In fact, many companies rise or fall on how fast or slow they make decisions. As a personal story, I have both made a lot of money with quick decisions and lost a fortune by not making decisions. An example is a company called Aurelian Resources. I knew about it. I had 1 week to go ahead and invest in the company, and I said, well, I'll do it next week, the week after. I didn't invest. That lack of action, that lack of making a decision cost me, well, let's just say Porsche money and then some. So that just gives you an example. Now, most of the time that does not happen to me. I make my decisions relatively quickly and act on them. But it gives you an example of how important making fast decisions is. So decision making is a skill, and developing the skill requires just belief changes. It's not hard work. It isn't hours of this or days or weeks of that. It's mental changes that you can make instantly by simply watching this video, if nothing else. So the quick decision system that I use, and everybody can tweak it differently, this is just what I have used to make decisions quickly and effectively and to become known among my friends and family as a quick decision maker. And I consider myself to be that and make them relatively confidently. And some areas more confident than others, because some areas I don't have the expertise to make them fully confidently. But in the financial areas and personal areas and health and the general real estate markets, things along those lines, I make them with complete confidence. And we'll go about how I make those decisions, and perhaps you'll find something that works for you, or you can of course tweak and make your own format. So first of all, you have to know the goals in your area of decision. For example, in the financial arena, I do not play around with an 8% return or 10 or 20% return. When I get involved in a financial investment, I am looking for, as I state on the website, very often a 300% plus return within 3 years. So consequently, that defines what I will and will not look at, how quickly I'll get into something. When I have friends who want to get me into a business where, Mark, go ahead and fund this, and it's going to give a 19% return every year. Not interested. It's not within my radar. I want much higher returns. That's why I go in more speculative investments. But of course, I do my due diligence. Other people would be thrilled with a 19% return. In fact, most people would. They might invest in it. So that gives you an idea. Just know what your goals are. You don't have to be as definite as having an exact number, but just a general idea. I want really high returns, or I just want security, or I want a house near an ocean, or I want a house in the center of a city. These are the kinds of things we have to have in terms of our goals. If we have no goals in the area, then any decision works. Just bang it out. If I have no financial goals, none whatsoever, somebody says, hey, do you want to invest in this? And you like the person, fine, go ahead and take my money. If that's your level of having no goals. I can't imagine that, but that just gives you an example. So it's yes, no, not today, or not ever, and not the maybe business. The maybe means I'm delaying it, I'm going to think about it. There's no reason to. You have no goals. It doesn't matter high, low, or otherwise. Go ahead and jump. So what are the risks of the bad decision? Now, this is one of the major ones that I use all the time in a lot of different areas, almost anything. What are the risks if I make the wrong call here? If the risks are really high, I will go ahead and bring out the big guns of, okay, what are the pros of this